Attempts to reform the short-term lending market are facing some stiff opposition. The government has set its sights on predatory lending and wants to stop short-term lenders overcharging vulnerable consumers. Today is the deadline for submissions in response to the plans, and the industry has come out fighting. Alicia Barry reports.
Need cash fast? It's a tempting offer for those struggling to make ends meet. The so-called payday lending industry is worth around $800 million a year. It offers small, short-term loans at very high interest rates, usually more than 30% a month. The Minister for Financial Services, Bill Shorten, wants a nationwide cap on the fees and charges for loans of up to $2,000. That doesn't sit well with the industry.
The government has just totally missed the mark with the pricing that they've allowed, and that's just going to negate any good reforms that have come in, because I come back to my point, businesses will shut down.
Arguably, the country's most profitable operator, Cash Converters, has launched its own no-cap petition online and has more than 21,000 supporters. Cash Converters has grown tenfold over the last decade, and while it says the plans won't cripple its business, it says the caps on fees and charges proposed by the Minister for Financial Services will cover its costs at best.
He's made it very clear in this draft legislation that he intends to wipe out the micro-lending industry. And it's very disappointing when, during 2 years of negotiation with Treasury and the government, we were led to believe that he had no intention to do that.
Consumer advocates have welcomed the government's moves and say claims many in the industry will go under are baseless.
It's a 48% cap. It's not, a tiered cap. It's not stopping them providing credit. It's saying there's an upper limit on how much you can charge, and that's simply to protect people from being exploited. I think anybody would agree that 48% is a lot, and people need to be protected from exorbitant costs, particularly where they're very desperate and they can't protect their own interests.
Catherine Lane says she'd welcome more offerings from the major banks, something the payday industry thinks is unlikely.
I can't see them, racing back to fill that void.
National Australia Bank invests around $130 million in microfinancing programs. Much of that funds the Good Shepherd initiative, which provides 200 charities with cash to lend to the disadvantaged for free. But it acknowledges it's not meeting the demand.
We acknowledge that there's a gap in the market in terms of lending, but we also think that being a bank with a strong profit and being part of a financial services sector that's strong, that it's part of the return of what we provide to the community.
With the other major lenders not commenting about entering the market at this stage, for those desperate for money, there's few other options.